Hello friends, my name is Dr. Huma Hassan and I'm beginning the series on Sociology Paper 2. Okay, Sociology Paper 2 deals with Indian thinkers and Indian perspectives to analyze Indian society. Now, what is the problem with Paper 2? In Paper 2, we are referring to Indian society as if we are learning about Indian society for GS paper. Indian sociology is different. Indian society reflecting on Indian problems is different. That is why aspirants are getting lesser marks in paper 2 and able to acquire above 140, 150, even 170 in paper 1. So what can be the right approach? The right approach is, first of all, you should be having in-depth understanding of thinkers. The way you need to have broader understanding of Western sociologists, exactly in same depth, you must be knowing about Indian thinkers. So today I would be reflecting on M.N. Srinivas. Now, M.N. Srinivas, I'm trying to explain M.N. Srinivas first, okay? Although G.S. Gure is considered as the father of Indian sociology. Why I'm bringing M.N. Srinivas? I'm bringing M.N. Srinivas because he is that one thinker at his time who has brought a correct understanding how we need to go beyond textbook interpretation to understand Indian society. Okay, in coming lectures, I would be making videos on GS Gure as well. But first of all, I will explain M.N. Srinivas because M.N. Srinivas is a structural functionalist. Okay, G.S. Gure was an Indologist and he was reflecting on Indian society with respect to civilization and so on. I personally believe G.S. Gure is more easier to understand than M.N. Srinivas. Okay, so that is why I'm initiating my series on Indian thinkers by M.N. Srinivas. Now, I would say how you people should be reflecting on these parts. Okay, see, first of all, always begin with the time zone. Okay, so Mysore Narasimhachar Srinivas, 1916 to 1999. It was this period. Okay, now you people can make the entire flow charts in your notes the way I have written it up. I would be explaining entire M.N. Srinivas to you with the help of flow charts. I would be giving you enough time to make the notes. Okay, please make the notes and see the difference. I can bet no one, I would say that no one, maybe there might be some teachers who would be, but very few are teaching Indian sociology in the right direction. Okay, but I would say that how you should write your answer, what should be the point. Okay, so I would say towering figure in Indian sociology and social anthropology. So who was Mysore Narasimhachar Srinivas, 1916 to 1999? He was towering figure in Indian sociology and social anthropology. So M.N. Srinivas was Indian sociologist and he was social anthropologist just like me. I am sociologist and I am social anthropologist as well. Often aspirants ask me, ma'am, you are teaching two optional anthropology, sociology, what is it? It is same thing. You need to have biological understanding. We'll talk about it later on. Okay, but if you are dealing in sociology, you have to have understanding of anthropology. And I would say there is no difference between social anthropology and sociology. Okay, so M.N. Srinivas, I would say towering figure. Now you would say his contribution have reshaped our understanding with respect to Indian society. Now here is a catch. Reshaped. I am using the term reshape and also I am emphasizing on this term. I hope everyone who is listening to me live here, okay, I can read up your, whatsoever you are writing, but right now let me explain and then later on you can write down in the chat section later on in my videos. I will try to reflect on your answers, on your questions. Why I'm saying it is reshaping? Because before M.N. Srinivas, Indian society was portrayed by colonial or I would say Orientalist scholars. They were analyzing Indian society and art structure from textbook. from our scriptures. So it was textbook interpretation. Now, M.N. Srinivas has reshaped our understanding with respect to Indian society by focusing and by using different approach. So his predecessors, G.S. Ghurye was M.N. Srinivas' mentor. Okay, so he had learned cultural and civilizations insights from the mentoring of G.S. Ghurye, but he had used different approach. So he has used different approach, that is, he moved away from text based interpretation. Do write this in your notes. M.N. Srinivas moved away from text based interpretation. He moved away, and this was, he called it as rigid interpretation. He was highly critical of this approach. Then what he did? He applied dynamic field study driven approach. Now, when we are referring to field study, do remember your topic 2 and 3 of paper 1. Okay, so this is how you need to make the connection of paper 2 with paper 1, paper 1 with paper 2. Now here your topic 2 and topic 3 of your paper, of your exam, or of your paper 1 of Indian sociology should be reflected. What is participant observation, how you are doing empirical investigations, or what type of methodologies you are going to apply, whole qualitative debate. Okay, so field study. Now by doing this, what he had done, he had challenged the dominant portrayal of Indian society as static, unchanging and hierarchical. UPSC several times have asked question on these themes. That Indian society had been considered as static, unchanging and hierarchical. This was a colonial mindset. So Orientalist scholars have defined Indian society as static. Now, by his work later on, I would show, he brought the shift. Okay, he brought the shift that no, Indian society is adaptive, it is vibrant, and it is having social changes. Okay, so this is the core point which you people have to remember. Okay, so and by the way, the shift which was brought by M.N. Srinivas was not methodological, it was conceptual, that I would explain in my coming lectures. Thank you.